Today we are talking about Hachiko waits. First of all, if you noticed just then, I'm gonna stop starting all my videos with a clap and hey guys, what's up? Because I figure that's fairly annoying to keep watching over and over and over if you are watching over and over and over. And so I'm gonna try not to do that. But yes, today is Hachiko Waits by Leslie Newman. Illustrations by Machio Kodaira. And a little background on why I read this book is I had the privilege of going to Japan just a couple months ago. I can't believe it's already been a couple months. But whenever I go to a new place, I want to like read some books. I want to, get in on the culture or whatever is happening when I go over there. Like when I went to Rome and Florence for the first time, I read The Agony and the Ecstasy by Irving Stone. I guess it's a biography, but it's like more than that. It's like crazy about Michelangelo. And for Japan, I read one of the next books that I'll review is Norwegian Wood by Murakami. What's his first name? I can't remember. And I also wanted to read Hachiko. Hachiko Waits. I had no idea that it is literally a children's book and it's less than 100 pages long. So I was expecting, because everybody's heard of Hachi, right? And there's a movie about him. I haven't seen the movie, but I figured I'd read the book. And it comes in the mail and I go, oh, it won the Children's Book Honor Award. So there you have it. I figured I'd just make this video anyway, because why not? It is a book that I read. And honestly, I feel like children's books, even children's books, have a lot to teach, a lot to say. I'm not one who pretends to only read classics or self-help books. You all know how I feel about self-help books. We like them, but in small doses. You can't just read only self-help books or you'd go crazy. And so I read Hachiko Waits in one sitting, and it was beautiful. It was perfect. And when I got to see the statue of Hachi in Japan, it just made it all that sweeter. Anyway, so the story of Hachi, for those who don't know, is once upon a time, many, many years ago in Tokyo, there was a professor, and this professor had a dog who looked like this. And he would go to teach at the college, and the dog, Hachi, would walk him to the station. And at 3 p.m., Hachi would be there waiting for him to get off the train and to walk back home with him. One day, and this isn't a spoiler, I don't think, because it's such a well-known little story, or in the book at least, I don't know how it happens in the movie, but in the book, he is teaching at his university, and he has a heart attack, and he dies. And there Hachi is waiting for him at the 3 o'clock train, and the professor never comes. And there was a little boy who knew of the professor and Hachi, and was worried about the dog. And eventually he started taking care of Hachi, and they made accommodations for him at the train station and everything. And every single day for years, Hachi would wait for his professor to get off the train. Isn't that so sad, so tender? And it's a true story. I mean, I'm sure this book has embellishments a little bit, and there is a love story with the little boy as he grows up, woven in there as well. But yeah, there's literally a statue of Hachi in, I think it's the Shibuya station, which is right next to the busiest crossing in the world. So many people, when I went, there was a line to take a picture with Hachi. So tender. Let me just read a few. I think I only have little 4 things to share from the book, and then we'll wrap it up. I mean, it's only 93 pages long total, but this says on page 67, day after day, month after month, year after year, Hachiko, and I'm pretty sure, and I don't know because I don't speak Japanese, his name is Hachi, but they kind of give him the nickname of Hachiko, and I think like that's more of a friendlier name than Hachi. And I'm pretty sure Hachi means 8, like the number 8. I don't know. So anyway, Hachiko. It says day after day, month after month, year after year, Hachiko sat on the platform waiting. It seemed that nothing would ever stop him from meeting the 3 o'clock train. This says, and can you believe this? Today marks exactly 10 years that Hachiko has waited for the professor. It did not matter if you were a child or an adult. It did not matter if you were a man or a woman. It did not matter if you were rich or poor. If you wanted to touch Hachiko's fur for luck, he would allow it. He was gentle with everyone. He got upset only when someone tried to move him from his waiting spot. And then the last thing I wanted to share is a picture. And this was an illustration by Machio. And hopefully you can see that. But there he is. There's a statue of Hachi waiting. Now, would I recommend this book? It depends on your expectations. I did not expect it to be a children's book. I mean, obviously, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't thinking. Like, obviously the story is meant for a younger audience, but I wasn't expecting illustrations and 93 pages long. So, if that's your expectation, I'd go ahead and read it. It is a tender little story, but otherwise, and I haven't even seen the movie, I don't know if it's of quality, but otherwise you don't need to. I wouldn't say that you need to, but it is a cute little story. And I think that is that on that. So we'll wrap it up here. My next book is going to be Norwegian Wood by, it's right there, Haruki Murakami. So that is another book that I read in preparation to go to Japan. It's pretty good. So tune in next time for that. If you have any book suggestions, like, really, I am just one comment away, and I try to respond to all of them. So, this has been Carson Reads. It's called Carson Reads because I'm Carson and I read. And I will be seeing you next time. Ciao.